And oh my goodness gracious, guys, never a doubt. Never a doubt at all. The Bears, 5-point winners, and no one ever thought it wasn't going to go that way.
No. In a game that was drunk, Pat.
Yes.
Drunk,
I don't know what's more drunk, the game or the people here at Revolution Brewing.
Trying to remember exactly what happened, right? But you do remember, Pat, the two young guys, the guy who had to be Superman, the guy who had to make the play, the tight end you drafted, number 10, has to make a play, breaks tackle, scores a touchdown, find a way to win a football game that had all kind of things go wrong at the end for you, run the hell out of the football. It's hard to win in the NFL.
Yes.
It's hard to find a way to win a game like that after you give up an onside kick, after you give a kick return for a touchdown, after they take the lead, put Caleb Williams on the field, the number 1 pick of the NFL draft, and tell them, what does Ryan Poles say, Pat? What have you been asking for? Go out there and be the reason we win the game. Go out there and be Superman. I think we might have saw our first Superman today, and the bar went crazy. We went crazy. Just a fun game to watch.
That was fun. I'll tell you what, man, that was ugly, bad, fun football. I was trying to think of a way to describe that.
Hey, nothing
it
ugly.
was all the
nothing
above.
ugly about it. We all knew.
I mean, you start with a 99-yard kickoff return against you.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, no, you can't start with that. You have special teams miscues everywhere. You know, you're going back and forth. You have a 14-point lead with 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go. We leave the viewing room where we're sitting here watching it so we can come down here, and the next thing you know, that just happened for, 30 minutes long of 2 minutes and 11 seconds of football. But they came away with the win. And, Olin, you're right. They did it. You know, the two first-rounders came away with the win at the end. Obviously, it was a terrible game by both defenses. The Bears in the end came out on top. It was very entertaining, though, man. I'm happy they came away with that win because there were a lot of storylines being written in those last 2 minutes and 11 seconds.
So somehow the Bears surrender 15 points in 41 seconds. They fall behind, and they wind up with a 58-yard touchdown pass to the rookie tight end. And he scored his first touchdown earlier in the game, and there he is with his second touchdown. Caleb Williams ends up with just having, as you say, that magical, that hero moment. We've got anti-hero IPA in front of us, but
I got the Mike Brown IPA.
You're drinking the Mike Brown, so
Mike
there's
Brown like Colston
Bears
Loveland.
connections everywhere.
There we go.
And this place went up for grabs.
Went crazy.
I mean, it was unbelievable because somehow the Bears went from being like, they looked like they were Toronto. Oh my God, they've lost. And then all of a sudden they're the Dodger fans. Everyone's going crazy. You won the World Series. Listen, this place was phenomenal. We're having a great time here, and there's nothing like the energy of people who are watching that happen. I'm glad we were all together for this. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, in a game, guys, that saw over 1,000 yards of offense, right? On both sides of the ball. And the good thing about the Bears is it's a young group, right? It's Kyle Monungai. It's Colston Loveland.
Yes.
It's Caleb Williams. It's Roma Dunze. It's young guys that they're taking early in the draft, and they're trying to develop, right? And it's great to switch this storyline because I'm sure here on the radio we were trying to figure out what storyline we were going to tell after they recovered the onside kick and then scored a touchdown, right? And Caleb walks back on the field, and we're all saying, okay, here's his moment, where we need him to find a way to put this ball in the end zone and all we really needed was a field goal. But Colston Loveland said, hold my beer, please, when I catch this ball and take it to the end zone. And he didn't put it on Cairo. And I asked Pat Mannelly, I said, Pat, where do we have to get? Where does Cairo have to get to win the game? And Pat said the 32-yard line. Right? That seemed pretty far away. Right? I think that's, what is that, a 50-yard field goal, Pat?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, and we had to get there. Cairo wasn't great today. And for Colston Loveland to catch that ball and score that touchdown in a game that went back and forth, and obviously the defense has things to fix, but Chicago Bears, as we talked about, find a way to win a football game, find a way to learn how to win, find a way to change your culture. It's what they started with today.
That's perfect. All right, because remember the Raiders game. Remember the Commanders game. They came back and found a way to win, right? And we all said, what does that do? That gives you belief. They got the ball back with 50 seconds to go.
So true, Pat.
They can believe. They believed, and they did it. Caleb did it. Colston Loveland did it. Not just the two players, but that big play at the end. So that belief has been going on all season. And, Olin, you named all these young players, and they're starting to get that. And that's big there in the fourth quarter to get that done. I think you'd have seen in years past, they would have folded, right? We'd have found a way to lose. Well, they're finding ways to win. That's 3 games this year. They found a way to win in the fourth quarter. They've done them different ways, but they are believing. And these are those 2 games earlier in the year, I believe they leaned on that. Just internally, you believe you can win. All right, we get the ball back, give us a chance to win, and they did it.
Guys, I mean, let's be honest. The Bears defense had a terrible day today.
That was more than terrible.
Joe Flacco passed for 470 yards.
Wow.
Joe Flacco is 40 years old, and that's his career high against this defense. But you got to admit that the Bengals might have the worst. They might have the worst defense of anybody on the field.
Right.
They are the worst team in the league at defense, and boy, did you see it. There were people holding up signs that were saying, just tackle, just tackle, just tackle. And then you saw what Colston Loveland did on that 58-yard touchdown at the end. There were guys bouncing off him. It was like watching like a Fat Albert movie or something where a guy's running down the field with all these people on top of him. It didn't matter. No one could bring him down. They can't tackle. That was an extraordinary finish to that game.
Well, and the offensive line needs to take a bow today.
Oh,
yes.
The offensive
no
line
doubt
that
about
took
it.
over the game.
Yes.
283 yards rushing. The Bengals really had no answer for the movement they were getting for Brown and Monungai and the run game, whoever was running the ball, whether it be jet sweeps, whether it be downhill, whether it be reverses on DJ Moore's touchdown. That's another thing that happened in the game, right? He sticks it on the guy's arm for a touchdown.
Yes.
This game had everything you could imagine. The entertainment value was through the roof. Chicago Bears, Pat, like you're talking about, found a way to win the football game on defense. Now Tyreek Stevenson is out. Jalen Johnson was out. Kyler Gordon is out. So they are struggling, right? They are starting to stop the pass. They seem that the Bengals are finding T.J. Edwards in man coverage on Chase Brown, picking on that. As you're talking about, Mully, Joe Flacco sets, career high in passing yards today with those receivers that they got. T. Higgins made some unbelievable, amazing catches on Nashawn Wright. Really, really good football game for both sides. The offense is just like we keep talking about. I don't really care what happens during the game. Find a way to win it. That's all I care about. Find a way to win the football game.
Yep.
Right? That's what we need to do out there. And you're talking about, Pat, years before, they found ways to lose.
Sure.
What were we starting to say? We would say when we play, let the Lions line. Let them figure out a way to lose the football game.
Yes.
Started saying that about the Bears. The Bears are just figuring out ways to lose. Pat puts it correctly. The Bears now are figuring out ways to win football games that they shouldn't win.
Amazing. Amazing.
And there is belief on that sideline. You just have to have a belief when you get the ball back with 50 seconds of hey, we can do this. And you start looking at your players. And now you add another player with Colston Loveland coming down with that catch, breaking a tackle, and making a touchdown. I kept thinking it was going to be Rome. That Rome was going to be the guy. Here comes Caleb to Rome. This is how we're going to win the game. Well, now you found another young player that stepped up, had 2 touchdowns. I think he had over 100 yards receiving. Happy to see him kind of have his breakout game. So there is a lot of belief on this team. And they beat a bad Bengals team. Right, we got to admit that it's a bad Bengals team, but like you said, Olin, it's a W.
We don't got to admit it right now.
You just start, maybe after our first break. But you start stacking these W's, and we'll see where we go, and that's who you play. So, just an all-around exciting game, man. Colston Loveland, 6 receptions, 118 yards, 2 TDs, obviously with a long of 58. But a great game for him, but a good game for this Bears offense. I don't think Caleb overall had the game we wanted to see. Right. The run game was what it was about, right?
Awesome.
That's what it was about.
Yes.
That's what was given to him. Olin the whole time we're watching is talking about why is Al Golden still playing this defense when they know they're going to run the ball. But credit to the Bears offensive line doing what they did and racking up, over 250 yards rushing.
I'll say this. The story of this game was, could the Bears offense, could Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, could they outscore Joe Flacco and team that's scoring 30 points a game?
Yeah.
Tell the story anywhere you want. Tell it any way you want. Tell us what happened. Tell everything you want to say. The answer is yes. The answer is they outscored them 47-42. That goes in the books.
Yeah.
That goes in the books no matter how you tell the story, no matter what you say about it. Could Ben Johnson, the number 1 play caller on the market last year, we signed him, put him with Caleb Williams. Can you go into a game where your defense can't stop anybody, right? That's what we said in Chicago. I mean, Pat, me and you started in 98. It's 2025.
Yep.
Can we outscore somebody if we have to do it? Here it is, 47-42. And yes, the Bengals defense is terrible, but someone has to make them look terrible.
Right.
Someone has to go out there and make the plays. Someone has to make the catches, someone has to make the throws, and someone has to run the damn ball. So there'll be times to pick this apart. There'll be tough games. But today, I take my hat off to the Chicago Bears and what they did, the offense and Ben Johnson, to accomplish this win.
47 points. I mean, that's the thing. It's 47 points. When do you see that?
No,
you never see that.
Yeah. Usually against the Bears if Ben Johnson is coaching in Detroit for the first time.
Yeah, right.
Right. That was 50-something.
Or the Bears coming off a bye with Mark Trestman as coach. But sorry,
that's right.
Yeah, but no, it's 47 points. I mean, I've been waiting for the day. I can't wait to hear what Ben Johnson has to say because this is a pat on his back for scoring 47 points.
I can't wait till we see what he has to say, how composed he is versus what he's doing right now in the locker room. I'm sure he's leading that chant and he's going crazy. And, he's trying to take a shirt off so everyone gets a hot dog.
Some things we don't need to see.
Right. A couple of statistics that we should mention. That ended up being a reasonably close time of possession game. The Bears held the ball for 34-25. But somehow the Bengals, who were barely getting the ball, managed 25 minutes and 30 seconds of possession. They got all their yards in the air, and they ended up with 595 total yards. Just 46 of that was rushing yards. The Bears, conversely, 576 total yards. Wow. And we mentioned they got 293 in the passing game because there were other people passing. Caleb caught a touchdown or two. The Bears, 283 rushing yards. My God, they outrushed them 283 to 46.
Right.
I mean, they had balance, believe it or not, in their offense, but obviously the defense was struggling. They also, guys, we talked in the pregame about penalties, and they had done a pretty good job of reducing penalties. They ended up getting 7 penalties for 43 yards compared to the Bengals, 7 penalties for 49 yards. So they actually won that statistic, but hardly the kind of dominance we were hoping for in penalties.
Yeah, it was just a cleaner game, right for Chicago Bears. The Bengals made more mistakes than the Bears made, right? If you think about Chase Brown's drop, right? There's a few really critical penalties also that the Bengals had throughout the game. And you let bad teams beat themselves, right? You let bad defenses beat themselves. And I was just thinking about watching this game. You wish Chris Berman and Tom Jackson were back, because how do you do the highlights? How long does the highlights last for this game, right?
Longer than 3 minutes.
Whether it be Cole Kmet taking a snap and tossing it to Caleb and then throwing it back to Cole, and Cole, we found out, is left-handed. He threw the ball. In case you ever get into a fight with him, you need to know what hand he is. But it's just it was a crazy game to watch. Like, as many things.
You're so right.
That went on in this football game. As many mistakes are made, as many plays.
Half the notes I have are useless right now.
Yes,
as
100%.
many plays as the offense is made, and you just want to keep. But the positive for the Bears on offense is, and even with Austin Booker, is there's young players making plays.
Yes.
Right, Austin Booker, sack fumble. Right, there's just young guys out there, guys that you are hoping develop, turn into blue chip football players, so that leads to continued success year in and year out. Those are the kind of guys you need on your football team. So good to see them do it today, Pat. A lot to go through in this game. Obviously, a lot of things happen. Talk about individual play, individual performance, but just winning a football game is a big deal.
Well, I'm going to bring it up, and I was hoping we didn't have to, but I'll bring it up. The special teams play was poor.
Yeah.
So you were talking about all those great plays, the Bengals making mistakes. Well, the Bears made mistakes as well, and it started with that opening kickoff return, missed field goals, holding on a kickoff return as well. So there's so much to talk about in this game. You know, we got so many notes and like what's more important, and I'm glad, to be honest, just being a special teams player, that that's not exactly what we're talking about. You know, we can talk about it later on and clean all that stuff up, but just to score 47 points and to win this game with all these different issues that happen all the way across the board for the Bears, it's just a great win. I don't even know what to say because there's just so much was going on. It was exciting, man. I'm just glad they won.
We got to get to a break.